welcome again to another edition of Not Your Father's Data Center. Like always, we're going to dive deep into the data center business. We're going to understand interconnection and PUE and WE, and we're going to understand thermodynamics. We're going to do some CFD modeling. Very, very, very technically focused conversation, as I know our audience loves to hear all the time. But before we do that, it is college football bowl season, and Frances has demanded that we do a college football preview show as we are facing the first bowl game right around the corner on December 17th. Who doesn't want to talk about the Bahamas Bowl, right? Everybody. I know everybody's dying to know what's going to happen in Nassau. But before we get rolling, we're going to talk about who's with us. So, first and foremost, out of our Montreal office, Director of Marketing, Frances Lash. Frances, say hi to everybody.
Hi.
Frances, how long have you been following college football?
2 days.
2 days. Awesome. So we're going to get a lot of wisdom out of Frances. Love that. Out of the Compass Data Centers corporate headquarters, Vice President of Marketing, Steve Flaig, out of Michigan State, graduated from Michigan State in, 1912? What year was it, Steve?
That's pretty close. We had finally stopped having to shovel horse crap out of the streets by the time I got there.
Right. It's how you avoided going to the first war, right? It's why you were at Michigan State.
That's it. Well, we're a well-known agricultural school.
That's right. Understood. Yeah. All right. So Steve's been following for roughly a century, and then honored to have joining us the one and only Tip City Tornado, the man, the myth, the legend. Yeah, he's in the data center business too. Global head of sales at Equinix, coming to us from sunny California, SoCal's very own Mike Baudendistel. Mike, how you doing, bud?
Thank you, Raymond. I appreciate it. I'm doing awesome. Glad to be here.
We couldn't be happier to have. And you, do you know anything about football? Ever played the game?
I've followed a little over the years. Yep.
Followed a little bit over the years. I don't know that you're going to be able to stack up against Frances. If you lose to Frances, you will owe $1,000 to her favorite charity if she outpicks you today. Okay.
Wow.
Just want to set the stakes early. Frances, you got to think about a charity because I know you're going to whip Baudendistel. All right. Before we get going, I just want everybody to understand the stakes. We are giving charity. Whoever gets the best picks, Compass is giving money to their favorite charity in honor of college football season. So we'll on our next podcast announce the winner, and we will send money to some needy cause. And it could be the Baudendistel Children's College Fund. Who knows?
That's right. Just
All right. Let's get going, guys. We got the all bases covered. We got the Pac-12 no defense out of Baudendistel. We got the Big Ten. They actually go to class up there out of Steve Flaig, and we've got the rest of world feel out of Frances. So we're going to get a great cross section, and then of course I represent a small conference out of the Southeast. All right, let's get going. First and foremost, windy Nassau, Bahama. The Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders facing off against the ever-powerful Toledo Rockets. Frances, who do you got?
Rockets.
Rockets, because everybody knows Rockets are faster than Raiders. Right?
Exactly.
That's right.
All right. We got Frances. She's going with Akron. Toledo. Who is it? I can't even remember. Toledo. All right.
Akron's the Zips. Toledo's the Rockets.
Yeah, Toledo's the Rockets. That's right. All right. Who do you got? Toledo or Tennessee? Come on, Mike.
You know what? That's Ohio. Us Ohio guys got to stick together here, Raymond.
Got to stick with the state?
I can't do it, man. I got to go to Middle Tennessee.
Oh, my gosh.
I know. I'm sorry. Don't tell anybody.
That's right. I can't believe you're leaving the state. All right, Flaig. I know you don't even say the word south of the border. You don't even mention what that is down there. So we'll just not even mention what state Toledo is in. Steve, who you got?
Well, little known fact, Raymond, we actually fought a war over Toledo with Ohio, so obviously
that is fair. That's right.
We won, so we let them have it. Yeah, I got to go Rockets, man.
The Rockets. Holy cow! We've already got our first separation. So we got Toledo. From the only guy from Ohio, bolts the state, takes Middle Tennessee. Frances and Steve Both going with Toledo. All right. Very good. All right. While we're still on December 17th, which, by the way, that's next Friday? Is that right?
Yep.
Everybody's sitting on the edge of their seat for the Tail Greeter Cure Bowl. I have no idea what it is, but it's in Orlando.
You're making that up.
I'm not making it up. Tail Greeter Cure Bowl.
Okay.
I mean, everybody goes to Exploria Stadium. I mean, I remember it well. The powerful Huskies, or without a doubt, my favorite nickname, the Chanticleers of Coastal Carolina. Mike, we'll start with you.
Wow. Honestly, up until a year ago, I didn't know Coastal even had a football team. So, you know what, Raymond, I'm sticking with the MAC school here. I think
Going with the MAC.
Yeah, I'm going with the MAC.
All right. I love the Huskies. Francis, who do you got? Huskies or Chanticleers?
The Chanticleers.
Ah, come on. That's what I'm talking about, Coastal. Steve?
I just can't get behind any school that has a big rooster as a mascot. So Northern Illinois.
Steve passing on the big chicken and going with Northern Illinois. All right. You guys want me to pick along with you? Throw in my money in the charity or not? All right,
Absolutely.
I'm picking. All right. Give me Middle Tennessee and give me the Chanticleers. All right. We're out of Friday Night Football. We're on to December 18th. Full slate of games. Who doesn't want to know what happens in the Radiance Technology Independence Bowl? I mean, how can you not want to know what's going on in Shreveport in December?
Absolutely.
Are you going in with the Blazers of UAB? Are you going in with the uncaffeinated Mormons of BYU?
Let me go first, Raymond. BYU in a bowl game, you always got to take. They're wild. It's always great games. You got to pick them.
Those guys are scoring points, aren't they?
Yep.
I'm with you. Mormons to cover. Francis, who you got?
I'm there too. BYU.
Woo! Steve, come on now.
Personally, I think this game has lost a little cachet since the Poland Weed Eater pulled its sponsorship.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, give me the Cougars.
Once Poulan leaves, it's hard to recover from that.
Yeah.
It really is. But
Hard to recover from that.
give me the Cougars.
So it's a clean sweep for the Cougars. Joseph Smith would be proud. All right, let's continue on December 18th. The roofclaim.com Bowl in Boca Raton. Feels a little bit insurance scammy to me, but as we know, everybody pulls for the offense out of Western Kentucky, but they are facing the Appalachian State team from my state of birth in North Carolina. Who doesn't like Boone, North Carolina? All right, so Francis, the roofclaim.com Boca Raton Bowl. You got Western Kentucky Hilltoppers, or are you going with my boys from Boone in App State?
I'm sorry, I have to go with the Hilltoppers.
The Hilltoppers? Stop it! Stop the madness.
It's a great name.
Yeah.
Mike, I can't. How do you go with Hilltoppers when you could pick Boone, North Carolina?
No, I'm going with France. I just wrote down one word here. I wrote Hilltoppers.
Hilltopper.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable. So they can throw the football. I'll give it to you. Steve?
I think the big question here is how many of the participants in this game are going to wind up marrying their first cousins. Probably
Fair.
more.
Fair.
Wow.
Fair.
But let's
You're
get it quick.
you're seeing a family tree that's fairly straight, Steve?
It's a shrub, baby. So give me the Hilltoppers, though, for a clean sweep.
Oh, my gosh. I got to tell you guys, I cannot give up on Boone. I'm taking App State. So I'm the lone North Carolina fan. All right. Everybody loves the Cricket Celebration Bowl. We got to go down to Atlanta and check out the historically black colleges and universities. Are you taking South Carolina State, or are you taking Deion Sanders' Jackson State?
I didn't even know this game was happening.
All right, I'm all in on Deion. Give me prime time. I've got Jack State.
Yeah.
Jackson
Francis?
State.
You got Jack State, Francis? Flag?
Hey, the SWAC conference winner always takes the MEAC guys to the woodshed. So
No question.
Jackson State.
That's a man who knows his HBCU football.
You know what, Raymond? I'm going against all of you. I never was a Deion fan, and I would love to root against him.
The anti-primetime pick. Give him the Bulldogs of South Carolina State.
That's right.
Fair enough. All right. While we're talking about scoring points, I have no idea how to pronounce the PUBG Mobile New Mexico Bowl. I don't know if that's a word or an acronym. We're just going to go with Mobile New Mexico Bowl. Fresno State, who'll score a point on you, and UTEP, who couldn't stop a 7th grade team. Francis, who you got in Albuquerque, UTEP or Fresno State?
Fresno State.
All right, I'm with you.
Yeah, Raymond, Fresno State's a mess. Their coach left. They're a total mess, and players left, but they're 12.5-point favorites. I can't go against that. I got to go Fresno.
Yeah, disarray, but I mean, you are playing the Miners.
Yeah, exactly.
Steve, I don't know how the Miners make a bowl, but they're in it. You making it a clean sweep for Fresno?
Oh, yeah, go Bulldogs.
Yeah, go Bulldogs. I hear you. All right, we are on to the Lending Tree Bowl. By the way, they are the sponsor of this podcast. Are you taking Liberty out of Virginia or Eastern Michigan? Long way to Mobile for both clubs. Francis, who do you got? Eastern Michigan or Liberty?
Liberty.
Steve?
EMU is in Ypsilanti, Michigan, and lives in the shadow of U of M, and that's for a good reason. So to paraphrase Patrick Henry, give me Liberty.
Give me Liberty, and do not give me Eastern Michigan.
Yeah.
Baudendistel, who you got?
You know, I looked this one up, actually, because I really didn't believe Liberty had a team, but they do, and they're actually pretty good. They got a stud QB, and I looked this. Eastern Michigan has not won a bowl game since we were in high school, and I don't think it happens this week either. So I'm going to go with Liberty.
Not happening. They're not beating Auburn transfer Malik Willis out quarterback at Liberty. They're not beating them. Give me Liberty.
No.
Or give me death.
There you go.
All right. I have no idea Jimmy Kimmel had his own bowl, but he does. The Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl. You know you're somebody when you can sponsor your own game at SoFi Stadium. You taking Oregon State or Utah State? The battle of the states. Francis, who you got? Utah or Oregon?
Well, I'm based out of Canada, so I have to go with the Beavers.
Look at the Beavers. All right. Oregon State. I love it. Mike?
This is just embarrassing, Raymond. I mean, I'm out here in L.A. We got a brand new stadium. They give them a bowl game, and they come up with the L.A. Bowl sponsored by Jimmy Kimmel.
How is it possible? Are there no other businesses in L.A.?
That's what I'm saying. I don't. It's embarrassing for us. I mean, this is the land of creativity. It's Hollywood. And that's what we came up with. I don't know.
Was the Jay Leno Bowl already taken? How did this happen?
I'd like to take a pass on this one, just out of taking a stance here. But I'm going to go with Utah State.
Look at Utah State representing.
Yep.
Steve, who you got?
I think the bright lights of LA are going to wake up those young men from Utah. So give me the Aggies.
I'm taking the Aggies. I'm with the Aggies. All right, we're getting out of the weekend. December 18th, final game, the R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl. Well, we know these guys aren't eating beignets. They're practicing. You got Louisiana or Marshall? Francis, hit us.
Louisiana.
All right. Home state go, boys.
Yeah.
Mike?
Raymond, it's the Raging Cajuns at home. How can you bet against that?
How do you play against them?
I don't care what the spread is. I'm taking.
They can walk to the stadium.
Yeah, exactly. I'm taking them.
All right.
I didn't even take into account the home game advantage. I just love the name.
Yeah, you're just taking them because they're raging.
Yeah.
Yep. Steve?
This is another team where their coach is departed to the lately the graveyard of coaches at the University of Florida.
That's true.
And I don't think we can discount Marshall's name in comparison to the Raging Cajuns, the Thundering Herd, but I think the Thundering Herd's going to get thundered over. Give me the Cajuns.
I'll take the Cajuns. I'm with you. I just wondered if Steve was going to make the connection to being a little bit ragey, wanting to pull for the Raging Cajuns, but we didn't make that connection. All right, we're out of the weekend. We're on to Monday, December 20th. It's Christmas week. You better get your shopping done. If you want to watch Old Dominion face Tulsa, you better take your mobile device with you. Nobody wants to miss the game coming out of Conway, South Carolina. Who do you got? ODU or the Hurricanes of Tulsa, Francis?
Hurricanes.
Look at you. Give her Tulsa. Mike?
You know, Raymond, Old Dominion's won the last 5 straight. I think it stops here. I can't take them. Tulsa.
Tulsa. Steve?
I just think you can't pick against the football juggernaut that is the Golden Hurricanes of Tulsa.
The fact that the Golden Hurricanes are playing just miles from the eastern seaboard where there have been hurricanes, I got to take Tulsa.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday. Guys, there's 4 days before Christmas. If you are not out Christmas shopping, you should be home watching the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. Kent State against the Cowboys of Wyoming, coming out of Idaho. Francis, I know you probably have your, digital recording device dialing this one so you can break it down. Who you got, Kent State or Wyoming?
So in my research, I found out that Kent State is the underdog, and I always like the underdog, so I'll take Kent State.
Look at that. Steve, I know you were at Kent State during the shootings. We'll get to that after Mike picks.
Raymond, what is Kent State's mascot?
Oh, man.
Golden Flashes.
They're the Golden Flashes.
Golden Flashes? Yeah. I knew it was golden something.
Yeah, you got to know your MAC schools. I'm sticking with
Yeah.
MAC.
You got to stay on top of the MAC. Hey, I had Huskies.
No. Going with the MAC.
You're sticking with the MAC.
Oh,
Yeah, for sure.
Does anybody know what state Kent is in?
Ohio.
I know. That was a layup for you,
I know.
Tornado. Steve, who you got?
oh man, Golden Flashes all the way.
Going with the Golden Flashes. I, too, am with the Golden Flashes. All right, we're still on the 21st. Nothing says Christmas like a Tropicana smoothie. So the Tropicana Smoothie Bowl in Frisco, Texas. I can walk to the stadium. You want the Road Runners of UTSA or San Diego State? The Aztecs. We know what happened to the Aztecs. Francis, who you got?
I have to take the Aztecs.
I was going to say there could be a personal connection here.
There is a personal connection. I have to stay with my heritage.
Yeah, SDSU. Go Aztecs. Mike, who you got?
You know, Raymond, there's actually 2 bowl games in Frisco, Texas.
That's right. Nothing says Christmas like Texas.
That's amazing. This one, I had to look up who UTSA was. I'm going to stick with them. I didn't know who they were. I still don't. I'm going to go with them.
But you got to like the 11 wins. I think they're 11-1. Steve, is that right?
Yeah, both UTSA and San Diego State lost their first games late in the season. And that's what you do that, and you wind up playing in Frisco, Texas. But I still think we'll go with the Road Runners.
I got to tell you guys, but just because it's a pseudo home game and I like where that program's headed, give me the Road Runners. Beep, beep. All right. 3 days to Christmas, guys. It's Wednesday, December 22nd. If you have not made a purchase, the shelves are going to be empty. I don't know if you've heard, there's a supply chain issue. Lockheed Martin at the Armed Forces Bowl in Fort Worth. I'll be rolling over to this one early. Nothing like a good tailgate in Fort Worth. You got Army versus Missouri. Francis, who you got?
Army. And I actually saw an Army-Navy game. That's the only football game I've ever seen in person.
In person. So you're drawn on a wealth of experience here, and we appreciate that. Mike?
Absolutely Army. They're going to run the ball. They're going to run the ball. They might have 900 yards rushing in this game.
Yeah, they could pass the century, the millennial mark in rushing. Steve, what do you got?
I agree. Army's going to run. They probably won't even throw a pass. This game will be over in about an hour and a half. Give me the Black Knights.
That's right. The advertisers are getting short shrift on this one because there will not be a 3-hour game. They will have, I predict now, 961 yards rushing is the number I'm going with, and the Cadets blow Missouri out.
You know, Raymond, those running games, it's hard to get a lot of beers in when those games.
That's right. That's the problem. Yeah. The clock runs. Yeah, the game's over. You can barely get a buzz on an Army game. But here's another one. I always take the service academies and the bowls because while other kids are off enjoying fudge, those boys are still working.
That's right.
All right, guys, we're down to Thursday, December 23rd. Thank goodness we're back to multiple games. For those of you who are still hungover from UTSA and San Diego State and are still in Frisco, Texas, you can enjoy the Frisco Bowl and see Miami take on North Texas. Miami very close to mine and Mike's heart, both having grown up within an hour there.
Absolutely. So Raymond, I'm going to
Now known as the Red Hawks, aren't they, Mike? Isn't that right? The Red Hawks?
Well, they had to change their name. Yes. Yeah, they're the
Because
Red
I
Hawks
think
now.
they were racially insensitive at one point.
Exactly. Yeah, when we grew up, they were, and now I guess they're not. But so Raymond, I'm going to pick on this one first. This game bothers me. This is a fake game.
Yeah,
They made this game up like 2 weeks ago.
that's exactly right.
They stuck in Frisco. They found 2 random 6-6 teams. Felt sorry for them. Made up a fake bowl. What's this one called? The Frisco.
It's the Frisco Bowl. Come on, you know Frisco's got a big budget.
This is phony. Obviously, I'm going with Miami, Ohio.
Can you abstain?
You know what? I would on principle, but I don't want Francis beating me. So no,
That's fair.
I'm going to go with Miami.
Fair. Francis, who you got?
North Texas Mean Green.
Look at the Mean Green. Come on now. The Mean Green, they're about 15 minutes away from Frisco for the Mean Green to get to this ball game. It's definitely a home game for the Mean Green. Steve?
Know that.
Yeah, I agree with Mike. I mean, the better name for this is the Consolation Bowl. But as an alumnus of UNT, I'm going to stick with them.
All right. In honor of Mike's rant, I am voting present on the Frisco Football Classic. So I am present, and other than that, I'm out. Because I'm busy focused on the battle for Central Florida. Later in the evening, I can't waste cycles on the Frisco Bowl. I'm busy worried about what's going to happen in the Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl between the coachless Florida Gators. I know Napier's signed, but the rudderless Florida Gators and Gus Malzahn of Central Florida. Francis, who you got?
The Gators.
No.
I can't believe it.
No.
Steve, Mike's gonna need a minute to make his pick after that. Steve, who you got?
Man, how the mighty have fallen. Yeah, you got to give me UCF.
Oh my goodness.
Raymond, it's clean sweep. At Florida, no way. They don't care. I mean,
They just say, talk about not want to be there.
Yeah, oh my God. And it's even it's in Tampa, so it's barely a drive. Yeah, UCF, I think they might care just a tad bit more. So I'm gonna go with UCF.
Man, I'm interested to see what the ratings are on that game on Thursday night. All right, Christmas Eve. Everybody knows you don't want to be opening presents or spending time with family. You should be plopped down watching Memphis play Hawaii. Do not hang out with family. Get in your man cave and watch the Easy Post Hawaii Bowl. Francis, the Tigers or the Rainbow Warriors?
Memphis Tigers.
All right. She knows the Warriors can't stop a Tiger.
Yeah.
Steve? Well, Mike, you could go. Hit it.
I want to boycott. I'm going to go a little rant here, Raymond. Hawaii has a losing record.
No. Stop.
Yes, look it up. 6-7 losing record.
You can look it up.
This is totally.
6-7.
I'm so against this, but it's a home team. They're playing at home. Nobody cares.
How long's the drive from Memphis to Honolulu?
Oh man, I can't believe I'm picking. I'm going to pick Hawaii with a losing record.
Oh my gosh. All right, Steve.
I'm thinking all 36 people in attendance are going to be in for a heck of a ball game, but give me the Tigers.
Memphis it is. Guys, I'm with Steve. I've already voted present once. I might just abstain because this game disgusts me. After I watch The Grinch for the third time, I might check in on this game, and I will see if Memphis can pull it out. Give me the Tigers.
And Raymond, this is the only game on Christmas Eve, this one?
This
Really?
is it. This is the one they picked? Yeah,
Wow.
This is the featured game. All right. For those of you who managed to graduate from Georgia State or Ball State, forget presents, forget the birth of our Savior. Nobody's hanging out with family. You are plopping down midday to watch the biggest game out of Montgomery, Alabama. The Ball State, what are they?
Cardinals.
Cardinals, aren't they?
Yeah.
Against the Georgia State Panthers. I mean, I feel bad for both fan bases. They have to pass on Christmas, and they got to go to Montgomery of all places. Francis, who you got?
The
Oh, yeah,
Panthers.
everybody knows the Tax Act Camellia Bowl.
Oh, okay. Yep. Okay.
Speaking of made up, Cardinals or Panthers? Francis, who you got?
Panthers.
All right. Let's go Georgia State. Mike?
I'm going to give you my lock of the week.
Lock of the week.
Lock of the week.
Mike's
Georgia
lead pipe
State.
lock.
Georgia State will cover. They will win big. That's my lock of the week. You can take it to the bank.
For those of you who are interested in that sort of thing,
Entertainment
Paul,
purposes only.
Yeah, for entertainment purposes only. Georgia State will to cover. Steve, who you got? I already wrote down Georgia State, so if you make me scribble it out, I will.
No, I think when these two schools play, you just got to throw out the regular season records.
You got to throw out the records.
The rivalry is so intense.
Everybody knows these two schools don't get along.
I mean, and how can you pick against the home of the Mason jar, the Ball family who created the Mason jar? Give me the Cardinals.
Oh my gosh, he went Ball State. There's a separation game between the panel.
Yeah.
The flag charity just took a leg up. Francis, go ahead.
I don't have enough background knowledge on anything to know when you're being sarcastic or serious about rivalries or.
We're never being serious, Francis.
Okay.
We will not be serious for the remainder of the show.
Okay.
All right, Christmas is over. The tryptophan hangover, you've recovered. It's now Monday, December 27th. The NFL has taken all your money on Sunday because who can pick winners in the NFL? We are on to the Quick Lane. I think that's an oil change company in Steve Flagg's hometown of Detroit, Michigan, Western Michigan against Nevada. Steve, in honor of the game being in Detroit, you go first.
Well, I've actually been to Kalamazoo once, so I'm going to go with the Broncos.
Look at the Broncos. Francis, Western Michigan or Nevada?
Broncos, because that was also my high school team mascot.
Love it. Love the Broncos. Mike?
Raymond, I'm going to go against all conventional thinking here. This game's in Detroit. It's a Michigan team. It's the MAC. And I'm still going with Nevada.
You're bucking all the trends.
And you know why? Yeah, here's why. Nevada's got a quarterback that's going to the NFL in the first round.
That's right.
And listen to his name. Carson Strong.
Yeah. I'm going just based on the name. I think I'm flipping my pick from Western Michigan just based on Carson Strong's name. I'm going with Nevada.
If I had to pick a name, that's the name I'm picking. If I'm going to go to the NFL.
I'm going Strong. All right.
There you go.
We're still on Monday, December 27th. You forgot a present. Now you can run to the store, still save a little face before New Year's, but it's bad timing if you're net out of the store during the Military Bowl to miss Boston College versus the Purple Pirates of Eastern Carolina. Francis, who do you got?
Boston College.
Boston College. No respect for the Pirates. Mike?
You know what? I'm going to go Boston College. I believe, memory serves me, their coach came from Ohio State, I believe. So I'm going to go with Boston College.
The Eagles. Steve, who do you got?
If I told you that this game interfered with my nap, would that give you any indication of how much I care? But
He's got this one on record. I got it.
Give me BC.
I got to tell you guys, as much as I want to stick with the Pirates from the state of my birth, I think that the BC run game's too much for them. All right, guys. We are quickly heading towards New Year's Day and the bowl games that everyone cares about, but we're still slogging our way through Tuesday, December the 28th, the Ticket Smarter Birmingham Bowl featuring my Auburn Tigers facing Cougar High out of Houston. Francis, who do you got?
I've heard you mention Auburn enough. I will pick Auburn.
Francis, I appreciate you understand an org chart. Excellent choice.
Oh, boy. Raymond, let me go on this. Can you tell me what was Auburn's record this year?
6 wins compared to only 6 losses.
Okay. So they're another one of those fake bowl teams that shouldn't be in there. So I know it's your alma mater. I don't want to go against you. Houston's a powerhouse. Oh, boy.
Everybody knows Cougar High can play.
Games in Alabama, too.
Right, in Birmingham.
You know what? Because you're my buddy, I'm going with Auburn.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate it. My Tigers appreciate it. We were going to lose the connection if you had taken Houston. Steve, who you got?
Sorry, dude. Got to take the University of Houston.
I think it's a bad connection. Steve, who did you say you had? There was some scratch on the line, Steve.
That would be Houston.
Oh, you did say Houston. Okay. Well, no debate. I'll take my Tigers. All right. Moving on. And by the way, kicking off on the Tuesday at 12, everyone will be, the productivity in America is going to tank because everybody's going to be watching Houston and Auburn at noon on Tuesday. All right. The Serve Pro First Responder Bowl in Dallas, Texas. The Airmen of Air Force, right? Or wait, I guess what do they call themselves now? What is Air Force? The
Falcons.
Falcons, thank you. The Falcons versus the Cardinals. This is the All-Bird Bowl. Air Force versus Louisville. Francis, who you got?
Air Force.
Love it. Love the Cardinals. Always take the service academies in the bowls. Those kids are focused. Baudendistel?
This is the back end of my parlay, my lock of the week parlay.
Yeah.
Air Force runs the ball 88% of the time for those fans out there listening. Go with Air Force in a bowl game. Lock it up a parlay.
That's right. Put them in your parlay. Daddy needs a new pair of shoes. Steve, who you got?
I agree with your theory that you never pick against the academies in bowl games, so give me Air Force.
You ride the academies. The Cardinals don't have a shot. The AutoZone Liberty Bowl out of Memphis, Tennessee. Get your guns up for the Red Raiders facing off against the mighty SEC and the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Francis?
Bulldogs.
Look at her. Knowing her football. Mississippi State. Steve, who you got?
Well, Mike Leach has got something to prove here, since he used to coach at Texas Tech. I wonder if they ever let that kid out of the shed. But I'll take the Bulldogs.
Fair enough.
Raymond, I'm going to I have to go, I guess, Mississippi State on this one. I think Tech's a mess. Their coach is gone. The next coach came in is gone. Yeah, I got to go with Mississippi State.
Yeah, Texas Tech's a dumpster fire. Just like Air Force runs it 88% of the time, I think Mississippi State may have 1,142 yards passing in this game. I think I saw the total was 1,141.5 on passing yards. Give me Coach Leach.
Is that an over-under I could bet on?
That's over-under, yeah, 1,141 yards passing. I think 1,141.5 on the passing yards. I think the over-under on his completions was 94 completions, wow. Yeah.
Look into that.
All right, Holiday Bowl, without a doubt, the most entertaining bowl every year. I think the last time this game finished under 100 was in the 70s. We got UCLA facing off against NC State. Francis, I know you feel strongly about the ACC, but can they go coast to coast?
I don't know what that means, but I'll just say UCLA.
All right. Clearly, she does not believe in the Atlantic Coast Conference this year. Clemson, the bloom is off the rose.
Yeah.
Mike, who you got?
This is a great game. San Diego, I've been to these games before. Always fun. Huge, high-scoring games. Almost a home game for UCLA. I'm going to take them.
All right. Steve, who you got?
I just can't give the Pac-12 any respect. Give me the Wolfpack.
Oh. Ty Miller is moaning and groaning as we speak.
Yeah.
In honor of my good friend Ty Miller, give me UCLA.
Yep.
All right. One more game before we get into the end of the month. The guaranteed rate, sounds like a mortgage thing, the guaranteed rate bowl out of Phoenix, Arizona, West Virginia versus Minnesota. Come on, Joe Manchin. What do you got? Francis?
I just like Minnesota's the Golden Gophers.
Come on, Gophers.
Gophers.
Row the boat, baby. What you got, Mike?
This is another one of those so wrong games. I mean, this is a fake game again. They're playing in a baseball stadium in Phoenix. And my homework this kind of homework I do for you, Raymond. This used to be
the in-depth analysis that our listeners get to.
This used to be the Cheez-It Bowl, and the Cheez-It Bowl dumped them to go to another Cheez-It Bowl. So this is now called the guaranteed rate. This is a joke game. I'd love to abstain, but I'm very competitive, and I don't want to lose this thing. I don't know. Give me Minnesota.
All right, let's be fair. The Cheez-It Bowl had the opportunity to go to Camping World Stadium. Who can turn that down? When you get a deal with Camping World Stadium, I mean, I'm sorry, Phoenix, you're no Camping World.
No.
All right, Mike, who'd you take?
I'm going to Minnesota.
Going with the Gophers. Steve?
I'm a big PJ Fleck fan. Give me the Gophers.
I'm taking the Gophers entirely on the PJ Fleck bandwagon. Row the boat, baby. All right, Wednesday, December 29th. We have recovered from a full day, 5 football games on Tuesday. None of us are in our offices. We're all losing our jobs, but we've still got to get some money down on the Wasabi Fenway Bowl. Who doesn't like a bowl game played in Boston? Virginia versus SMU. Francis, who do you got?
Cavaliers.
Oh,
Wow.
so much for the ACC disrespect.
I think I'd like to be Francis's bookie. I'd like to take some of that.
You want to hold some of that action?
No, I think I do.
All right, UVA. Mike, who do you got?
Now, SMU's wild. First of all, they're playing in Fenway. That's just not something weird about that. SMU's going to run all over them. It's going to be a high-scoring, big win.
Well, there's a short porch in left field. I expect SMU to have at least 5 home runs. They've got a lot of power from the right side of the plate. I'm taking the Mustangs. Steve, I jumped in line. Who do you got?
I had originally thought the Mustangs, but this is the last game for Virginia's head coach, who has probably one of the best football names of all time, Bronco Mendenhall.
Come on, Bronco.
I'll take the Cavaliers.
In honor of Bronco, Steve's going with UVA. All right. While we stay in the Northeast for the Pinstripe Bowl, Virginia Tech and Maryland. Francis, I know you love a terrapin.
A terrapin?
See? That's an endorsement if I've ever heard one.
All right, this one I didn't fully, I think, put enough effort in, but Virginia Tech?
You did not vet Virginia Tech, Maryland? All right, you got it. You're going with the Hokies. I can see your ACC bias showing through, Francis. Mike, who do you got?
Is this another baseball stadium game?
This is in Yankee Stadium. It is indeed.
This trend
This has got to stop. The madness.
This is ridiculous. I don't know. Let's go. Is this the Virginia Tech? Yeah, Maryland lost. My notes say here the last 6 games by an average of 30 points. So no,
that's correct.
I can't go with them.
They got a lot of D up there.
So I'm going with that.
You see, yeah, I'm with you, Steve. I got Virginia Tech. Who you got?
I think you could call this the bad mascot bowl when you got to pick between the Hokies and a turtle. But
terrapin, please. That's cultural appropriation if you call it turtle.
Latex without a coach. Give me the Terrapins.
Oh my goodness! Maryland gets on the board. There's a separation game. All right, already mentioned my favorite snack. You got to go with extra toasty. The Cheez-It Bowl. I think I personally provide about half the funding for this bowl game.
Yeah.
Clemson versus Iowa State.
Francis, I'm waiting on you. I want to see what you say.
Clemson.
Wow.
Whoa.
Oof.
You see where she's at on the ACC?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, Raymond, here's my question: is what does the winner of the Cheez-It Bowl? What's the championship ring look like?
I do think it is a Nabisco logo on set in orange, though.
This is embarrassing. I don't know. I just have so much trouble with some of these sponsorships. I'm going to go with no. Clemson's done. I'm going with Iowa State.
Give me Iowa State. Boy, how the mighty have fallen. Dabo Swinney winning national championships and then ends up in the Cheez-It Bowl. Steve, who do you got?
Yeah, this is definitely the underachiever bowl because both these schools were picked as possible title contenders in their conferences. I'm going to go on legacy and take Clemson.
I'm with you. This is the underachiever, failed to meet expectations bowl. And in the anti-Dabo Swinney pick, give me Iowa State. All right, one of my favorite bowls of the year. Who doesn't like the Valero Alamo Bowl? Great ballpark. Love it here in the state of Texas. Usually get a solid matchup. I like Oregon, Oklahoma. Lots going on. Both coaches left. Francis, are you pulling for the Ducks or are you a Boomer Sooner?
Sooners.
Give her the Sooners. Look at that. You can't stop Francis.
You can only hope to contain her.
You can only hope to contain her.
I really,
got
really
OU.
hope I win.
I know. You got Francis. There's no question you're winning. Mike, who you got?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Oklahoma. This is actually a good game. Oklahoma, Oregon. I mean, they don't have coaches, but this is the first really good game I've seen you call out here. Go to Oklahoma.
I was going to say this is the first top tier talent game that'll be fun to watch. I think the Alamo Bowl turns out to usually be a good game. I like OU myself. Steve, who you got?
Yeah, I don't know what the spread is on this game, but I think it'll wind up being fairly tight. But I got to go with
It's an
Sooners.
entertainment-only show, Steve. We don't endorse.
Yeah.
Wagers.
What was your action on that, Steve?
I got the Sooners.
All right, Steve's taking the Sooners. I got to believe that the Sooners are getting points. Somebody tell me.
Nope, they're favored.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yep, by 3.
All right, December 30th. About to hit New Year's Eve. We're about to get the games that we really care about. My least favorite name of a bowl game, the Duke's Mayo Bowl. I don't eat mayonnaise. I don't understand how you can put white gelatin on a sandwich. I just don't get it. But I don't know if you guys know this. That's what they do in France on French fries. I just don't get it. These things trouble me. But Frances, who do you got? North Carolina or South Carolina? The Battle of the Carolinas.
I love mayo on French fries. I'll just add
I just
that.
can't take it. I can't take it. There's clearly a prank caller.
Tar Heels, North Carolina.
There you go. The state of my birth.
You know,
Mike,
Raymond,
who you got?
Just when we had a big game, Oklahoma, Oregon, you fall back into this. North Carolina, 6-6 records. The Mayo Bowl.
The 12-12 Bowl.
Wow. I don't know. I mean, where's the game at? Charlotte? That's in North Carolina?
It is in North Carolina.
I'll take North Carolina.
Based solely on the drive, he's taking North Carolina. Steve, who do you got?
Can you imagine the recruiting pitch around this? You're Mac Brown talking to some kid's home and say, yeah, I know you got an offer from Ohio State, but hey, we played in the Duke Mayo Bowl last year.
Yep.
Think of what he's bringing. Think of what he's bringing as a leave behind. I mean, I can see it now.
You can never have too many condiments. That is true.
That's right.
But yeah, give me the Tar Heels.
Give me the Tar Heels. It's 4 for 4. All right. I have no idea what the Trans Perfect Music City Bowl is. I just know it's in Nashville. And I know the Volunteers are taking on the Boilermakers. Frances, who do you got?
Tennessee.
Here you go. Home state. Mike?
I'm mixing it up. I'm going Big Ten. Purdue.
Give him Purdue. Steve?
I agree with Mike. Give me the Boilermakers.
Pains me to pick against the SEC, but I think the Boilermakers are a better club. All right. My favorite bowl on the board. No better place to get a chicken sandwich 6 days a week than Chick-fil-A and the Peach Bowl.
Yeah.
It also features Frances's favorite team. As we know, she sported green fingernails the entire season in honor of the Spartans. Do we take the number 10 Michigan State Spartans or the number 12 Pittsburgh Panthers? Frances,
Michigan.
who do you got? Of course she's got Sparty.
Yeah. You know,
I know it's hard for an Ohio guy.
Up until this call started, I would never pick Michigan State, but now I found out Steve, that's his alma mater. I will do that in honor of Steve. I will pick Michigan State.
Gotta love Sparty getting the pick from a guy from Ohio. Steve, I don't think we even need to ask. I know you got your Spartan.
Well, I got to tell you, though, Pittsburgh throws the ball all over the yard, and our secondary couldn't guard a house. So this shows you what a homer I am. I still got to go with my Spartans.
Still taking Sparty. All right, I just want to tell you guys the risk. I'm taking my life into my own hands. I share an office wall with Steve, but I think Pittsburgh's going to have 682 yards throwing the ball, and I think they beat. What's that's in the first half. That's right. I think they beat Michigan State by 2 touchdowns.
Oh, man.
Yeah. All right. Everybody wants to be in Vegas. Here they take action out there.
Yeah,
Wisconsin versus Arizona State. I love Herm Miller. I think he's great. Herm Edwards, excuse me, and Herman Miller, the furniture. I love them both.
Great.
Who do you got? The Badgers or the great DB from the NFL? Frances, who do you got?
Badgers.
All right, Scotty it is. Mike?
You know, Raymond, on this one, I like to usually, on a Vegas game, to make my pick at the very last minute. I like to see the number of arrests the night before to see how it affects the
You want to see the blotter. You want to see the police blotter.
Who's playing, who's not. But since we have to pick now, I got to go Big Ten. Wisconsin.
I'm with you. Steve, you keeping it in the family?
No, I ordinarily would agree with Mike, but those Wisconsin people can definitely hold their liquor. But I'm going to go with the Sun Devils.
Oh,
Ooh.
Herm Edwards Club getting represented. I'm sorry, I got to take Wisconsin. I think they played great the second half of the year, better than their record. I think they run all over the Sun Devils. All right, guys, it's New Year's Eve. Find the one you love. Get the countdown ready because everybody's going to be starting the day off pre-gaming for the Wake Forest Texas A&M game in the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl. Francis, I know you love Jacksonville. I know you love the greatest outdoor cocktail party. You got the ACC, the conference that you love to hate, versus Texas A&M. Francis, who you take?
Texas A&M.
See, I knew she was continuing to pour it on the ACC.
Yeah.
Give her the Aggies.
She's done her homework. She's done her homework.
Clearly, she's professional.
Absolutely. I think she's sandbagging here. I'm laying off for action now.
Yeah, no question.
No more bets. This one, A&M. I was there 2 weeks ago. I went to a game at A&M. Awesome atmosphere, awesome school. They destroyed some Prairie View, so I don't think it was really a competitive game. But I'm going to go with A&M just because I like the atmosphere.
Love the atmosphere down there. It is a cult, but they play good football. Steve, who do you got?
A&M's been schizophrenic all year long, so I got to go with the Demon Deacons.
Oh, the Deeks.
Ooh.
Well, I'll say this. I got to believe that Jimbo and his club could care less about going to Jacksonville. I think they're my number 2 disappointing team of the country. If I had guaranteed somebody $75 million and they never finished better than 3rd in my division, I'd be pretty upset. To see Jimbo's name get flashed around for other programs, I think there's a little bit of unrest down there in Aggie Land in College Station. As much as I hate going against my league, give me Wake Forest. Okay, I struggle to decide which is my favorite bowl name. I love this Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, but coming in a close second is the Tony the Tiger Sugar Bowl. Not that I'm saying that I had any Frosted Flakes growing up. I can neither confirm or deny consuming that much sugar. But the Washington State Cougars against the other Miami. Francis, who do you have?
I lost my place in my notes.
Cougs or Canes? It's really simple. There's T-shirts out there.
Cougars.
Yeah.
Cougars. Oh, my goodness. I can't believe it. Mike?
I can't believe this is called Tony the Tiger Bowl. I really thought that was a joke when I.
That gives you pause, doesn't it? Gives you pause. Where's our country headed?
Grant, I'm a big fan of the cereal. I love the product, but this is good. Mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise and Tony the Tiger.
This one's easy. I hate Miami. Always hate Miami. I don't care what the point spread is. Don't care.
Hate to you. Hate to you. Give me the Cougars.
Yep.
Steve?
This game could be interesting. Miami has finally found a quarterback, but Washington State fired their coach earlier than Miami fired theirs, so I think there's something said for continuity. So give me the Cougars.
I think of all the games being played in the back half of the schedule, this is the biggest snoozer on the schedule. Hard for me to say a present for this one, but I will take Miami just to buck the trend. All right, now we get to games that everybody cares about. It's starting to get interesting, folks. The first playoff game played here in Arlington, Texas, the Goodyear Cotton Bowl. Should they be in Cincinnati versus the Crimson Tide? Francis, this could decide the national championship. Be careful.
Crimson Tide.
Going with Nick. Mike, it's a tough one for you.
Raymond, this is the wrong Ohio team.
That's right.
Come on.
That's exactly
honestly,
right.
If Ohio State was in here, do you think the point spread would be 13.5?
Absolutely not.
No. I feel bad. I love Cincinnati. It's a great story, but there's no way. Alabama.
Yeah, that's right. Let's just go ahead and call this what this is. This is the Sympathy Bowl.
Yeah.
They got no business being on the field with Alabama. Steve, who do you got?
Yeah, I mean, it's great that Cincinnati is, the first non-Power 5 conference in there, but honestly, based on history, this is really just the game, and the only question is what team gets to be mauled by Alabama.
Yeah.
So, Crimson Tide.
Well, yeah, I looked. The over-under on total yards from scrimmage for Cincinnati is 82, and I took the under. Wow. So I think they're going to have a tough time. All right, They sneak in an interesting game in between the biggies. We've got the Barstool Sports, love Dave Portnoy. The Barstool Sports Arizona Bowl, Steve, near and dear to your heart. The Central Chippewas of Central Michigan against Boise State, another Broncos team. Come on, Broncos. What do you got? Francis, the Chippewas or Boise State?
Chippewas.
Going with the Chippewas out of Central Michigan.
No, Raymond,
Mike?
Francis didn't look at the point spread on this one. No. Boise State, bowl games, Big Ten. They love playing bowl games. Go with Boise.
They'll light people up.
Yep.
Give me the Smurfs. Steve?
You know, when I was applying to college, Central Michigan was my safety school. I spurned them then. I won't now. Give me the Chippewas.
Steve, making up for old wounds, embraces the Chippewas. I can hear the celebration in Central Michigan right now. Give me Boise. Boise by 1,000,000.
Yeah, Mount Pleasant is aflame right now.
That's right. All right. Now we're getting into the other very interesting playoff game. I don't understand how Michigan and Georgia end up 2-3. You lose that late in the season. I don't know how you drop from 1 to 3. I would have dropped. I think I'd have left Michigan in, and I'd have put Ohio State in. I'd have had Michigan 2, Ohio State 3, and Georgia 4. I don't care about the rematch. Make them face Alabama again in the Capital One Orange Bowl. Francis, the Bulldogs out of Athens, or Jim Harbaugh's salvation season, the Maize and Blue. Who do you got?
Georgia.
UGA. Look at her representing the SEC.
Yeah.
Mike?
Tell you what, I mean, it's pretty obvious for me, Raymond. I wouldn't pick Michigan if they were playing Russia. I would never pick
That's
Michigan.
fair.
I don't care who they're playing. I won't
That's
pick
fair.
them.
That's fair. That's fair. Fair enough, UGA. Steve?
Yeah, I mean, neither of these teams has a good in-game coach, but I just could never pick Michigan to win.
Well, you can see the disdain for Michigan coming out. Let me just say it this way. If Michigan was playing Hell's All-Stars, I'd take Hell.
Yeah.
Give me
exactly.
Georgia.
Yeah. I'd cover it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to hate a program more than I hate Michigan. All right.
Yeah.
Now we're on to the big day all of us grew up with, January 1st, New Year's Day Bowl, the New Year's Day Six. I know Frances knows this like the back of her hand. She's been watching college football since she was knee-high to a grasshopper. We're opening up early with the Outback Bowl, SEC representing the Arkansas Razorbacks against Penn State and James Franklin. Francis, who do you got on New Year's Day?
Penn State.
Oh.
Penn State. Oh, my goodness. Mike?
No. I mean, Penn State's been playing Rutgers and Maryland now. Arkansas finished strong, 4 out of 5. They lost to one game to Alabama. Absolutely Arkansas.
Yeah, Arkansas all the way. Hey, Francis, it's noon on New Year's Day. How many mimosas are you into before the Arkansas game kicks?
I won't even be able to turn on the television.
Yeah. Francis is 9 mimosas in by noon. Are you kidding me? She's going to have the remote right next to her. Otherwise, she can't get the channels clear enough. Baudendistel, I think you're on the Sam Pittman train. You got Arkansas. Yep. Steve, who do you got?
Penn State's just happy to be there, and I think Arkansas is going to lay a whooping on them.
Mm-hmm.
I love what Baudendistel had to say about competition. Let me just tell you that Arkansas's third string could beat Rutgers. So Arkansas puts a beat down on the Nittany Lions.
Yep.
All right, we continue on New Year's Day. Frances is trying to get a nap in before she goes at it hard for round 2. It's 1 o'clock. The Fiesta Bowl's coming on. She's trying to decide, do I put my house slippers on and lay down, or do I just keep going with the mimosas? Oklahoma State Cowboys or the Fighting Irish? Frances, who do you got in the Fiesta Bowl?
Cowboys.
The Cowboys. She's got her guns up. All right, let's go, OK State. Ricky Fowler liked that pick. I know that. Mike?
This is a tough one. I mean, I grew up loving the Irish, but that coach I kind of want to go with them because the coach left. They stuck around.
Hey, can you give me 13 seconds? I'm going to let you know I'm leaving.
Yeah, exactly. You know what?
I can't finish the show, Mike, but I wanted to let you know. I'll text you.
I'm going to go with Okie State on this one. Just a protest vote.
I love it. I love it. The anti-Brian Kelly vote.
Yeah. Although, wouldn't that be the opposite if I voted for? Yeah, it seems like I'm doing that in reverse.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
You're blaming the kids for the coach's move.
Yeah, I know. But, I'm still going to do it anyway because I want to cover my bet. So I'm going to go with Okie.
I hear you. Francis? I'm sorry, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if Brian Kelly, told his team they were never going to see him again in that crazy Cajun accent. Yeah, you got to give me Oklahoma State.
I got to tell you, I agree with you. I just don't know what's going on up there in Notre Dame, and I think the Cowboys can just score too much. Give me the Cowpokes.
Yeah.
All right, guys. For those of you who are wondering, we always got to work our sponsors in. If you're wondering how to grow long, luscious hair like me, you have protein shakes for lunch. These locks don't happen naturally. Steve and I have both been on the protein shakes for years now, and you can see what it's done for our mains.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. No question.
Yeah, I haven't gotten around to asking for my refund yet.
Still here in the middle of New Year's Day. Frances is fighting a hangover. The hair of the dog from the night before. She's 11 mimosas in. She wants to turn on the citrus bowl. She's wavering, but she goes, wait, I hear the Wildcats are on. She thinks it's the basketball team, and she tunes in anyway to Iowa versus Kentucky. Frances, who do you got?
Kentucky.
Yeah.
I knew she was going with the Wildcats. I mean, I didn't even have to call it out.
Yeah.
Who do you take in December? You right? Wildcats or Hawkeyes? I mean, it's obvious.
Yep. No, that was a good pick. Good pick. Is Iowa, have they recovered from that beatdown they just took?
No, I know. Brutal.
No way. That was
emotionally distraught.
That was an embarrassing game. I'm going to go with Kentucky as the favorite against the beatdown Iowa team who doesn't care anymore.
Amen. Steve, who do you got?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely got beat down by Michigan, which was extremely disappointing, but Iowa always is prepared for their bowl games, so I'll take the Hawkeyes.
All right, guys, I got to stick with the SEC. I like what Kentucky's been doing, and basketball season is in full swing, so give me the Wildcats. All right, moment of silence for the granddaddy of them all, near Mike's hometown.
Yep.
Let's go with the Rose Bowl, the team that should be in the playoffs, the right team from the state of Ohio that should be in the playoffs, the Buckeyes of Ohio State against Utah. Francis?
Ohio State.
There you go.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's go Buckeyes.
Yep.
Mike, we know where you stand.
This is going to be a beatdown. I mean, Utah's a legit team. I mean, I think they beat Oregon twice this year. I mean, they're legit. But Ohio State is going to make a statement and just give them an outright beatdown.
I think this game could go either way. Steve, how are you seeing it?
Man, where have you gone, Keith Jackson? Ohio State's going to take the
bumbling, stumbling.
Yep, they're going to take the Utes to the woodshed.
Yep.
I think the game could be the I don't care bowl, or it could be the you left me out bowl. I think it goes as the you left me out bowl, and Ohio State puts 50 on Utah. Give me the Buckeyes. All right. A lot of people down here care. I'm not sure people the rest of the country care. Baylor versus Ole Miss down there in the Superdome. If it was up to me, I'd be eating beignets and sipping coffee. I wouldn't even walk across the street to the Superdome. But Francis, who you pulling for?
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. Love the SEC call. Mike?
Yeah, I mean, who's got cooler uniforms at Ole Miss?
That's right. Love the baby blue.
Yeah.
Love the baby blue. And by the way, other than Leach, who's a better interview in college football than Lane Kiffin?
Yeah.
Love him. Steve, who do you got?
Spent a bunch of money sending my kid to Baylor, but I'm not going to let that tarnish or taint my thinking. Give me the Rebels.
All right. Ole Miss is a clean sweep. I got Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin scoring points and having fun in New Orleans.
Now, keep in mind, though, Raymond, keep in mind, so that factors in again. The arrest that night before will also factor into the point spread of this game.
That's fair. That's right. The police blotter always plays a role in New Orleans. There's no question.
Yeah. So I'd like my vote to be tentative right now. And
pending the police blotter.
Yeah.
Okay. You can text in a change if you need to.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All good. All right, January 4th, we're back to work. Life sucks. It's Tuesday. We can't believe the holidays are over. And you just go, you know what? I need to see K-State play somebody. Where's K-State when it's the middle of January? K-State versus LSU. Is LSU found a coach? Oh, that's right. They got that Southern guy from Notre Dame. Francis, who you got? The Wildcats or the Tigers?
LSU.
Right. Mike?
You know what? I love LSU uniforms, but I'm going against them. I don't like the whole thing with the coach. I'm going K-State.
Steve?
This could be a tough one. I think there's a rerun of the Wonder Years on that night, but because K-State is playing, I'll tune in.
K-State it is. I think LSU is a dumpster fire. Hate picking outside the SEC, but I think K-State wins this game. All right, guys, last pick, and we're putting this thing in the can. We don't know who's in the national championship game, but we do know the 4 teams playing for it. So just give me your pick for winning it all. Francis, Alabama, Michigan, Georgia, Cincinnati. Who's going to win the whole thing?
Crimson Tide.
All right. Mike.
So this is like the tiebreaker, kind of. So
That's
we're going
it.
to go with it. All right. I'm going to go, since I can't pick Ohio State, I guess, right?
That's right. You can't pick Ohio State, unfortunately.
I'm going to go Georgia.
Georgia. All right. Steve.
Since my wife is probably going to see this, honey, I love you. Give me Georgia.
UGA. So, guys, this one's a tough one for me. I think Georgia and Alabama end up playing each other. I think it's hard to beat a team twice. I think Nick Saban pulled out all the stops to beat them down in the SEC championship game, and I think Georgia wins it.
Nice.
All right, guys. We enjoyed having a little fun here at the year end. The data center business has been good to all of us. As the world continues to recover from this pandemic, wish everybody a safe and happy and wonderful holiday. Enjoy watching college football. Enjoy spending time with your family. Mike from Equinix, we're so grateful that you joined us. Francis and Steve, thank you for having fun with us, and we appreciate everybody listening.